Thank you, Hassan. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Yeah. And I'll talking about AI as Ahmed said. Okay. Then before talking about AI, maybe it does make sense to define what is AI first. And AI is artificial intelligence. But what do we mean by intelligence? Yeah, take like 3 seconds and or 5 seconds to think about this. What is intelligence? Yeah, and intelligence for me, it's just like the ability to restore and generalize what we learn. For example, if you learn 1 plus 1 equals to 2 the first time, the next time you see 1 plus 1, you will be able to see, okay, the results is 2. Yeah, and this is about learning, right? Then what is learning? Learning is just like the acquisition of know-how through observation, imitation, testing, repetition, and also presentations. And in this, what is like the artificial definition of learning? The artificial definition of learning is is a process of adapting the parameters of a system to give a desired response to an external input or or stimulation. Okay. Then regarding that, what is AI? Then AI as artificial intelligence is just the ability of a machine to restore, generalize what this machine learned before. And in here, the machine learning is like a process. Yeah. And what this process is about? The machine learning process is to better figure out how it works. Just I'll give you an example, like considering like a game, right, where you have an agent. Well, this agent can be a machine, and the agent can choose between several actions and choose an actions among these possible actions, applies this action, and then observe the results. And then the machine, the agent, can memorize the positions, the actions, and the results. Then here there are three key points: is position, action, and results. Yeah, then let me just remind, yeah, you have a machine or an agent. The agent is in a position, which is a context, and apply an action to have a results, right? This is just what I have given before. 1 plus 1 equals to 2, right? Then 1 plus 1 can be like the position, and the 2 can be the results. And here the action can be, okay, 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Then 2 is your results. 1 plus 1 is the action, and like the equal sign can be like your action. Okay, then the agent learns to predict the results according now to the position and to the action. And like this learning process between the position and the action by predicting a result, this is what we call a model. In artificial intelligence, what you heard about model, this is a thing. And after that, there is like the general the restore or the generalization of this thing. Then in the presence of a position, the agent looks for which action the prediction of the results is the most favorable, and then we will apply this action. Yeah, and let's take like a basic example. For example, you can see that let's take a basic example. where, for example, you have a machine with the ability to, for example, recognize your face. How the machine can recognize your face? In the past, for example, someone tell to the machine, okay, if you have this kind of face, this is the face of Asa. And the next time or the next day when you will present the face, the Asan face to the machine will be able to recognize Asan itself. And this is like the basic way of doing machine learning and artificial intelligence. But the other thing is, for sure, the Assam's face is not always the same, because there are some expression. Assam can be angry, Assam can be happy. How the machine now will recognize in different situation the face of Assam. This is what is called the generalization of the machine learning. For example, for sure, your machine have learned before lots of faces and were able to match a face with someone, right? But if you present your machine another face, maybe it's not the same face he learned. But what the machine will do, the machine will say, okay, when I was in such position, what I did is what the machine will do is the machine will try to see among the results that the machine have memorized, which one is the...
Can you stop 1 second, and can we have Pap Nyang to exit out of the presentation mode that he is? Pap Nyang, you are presenting right now, so please exit. Pap Nyang.
Pap Gorinyo.
Okay, let me just kick him out. Let me just take him out. Okay. Anybody who has a camera, can you turn your camera off, please? Turn your Tamara, can you turn your camera off, please? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Then I was like the generalization. Okay. And maybe is yeah, this is yeah, and for sure the AI in history, the AI changed. Before the present time, the AI before was like an expert systems. Expert system is a system which is taught to just memorize and restore what an expert can do. Yeah, but nowadays the AI is more than this. For example, recently I have seen that an AI was able to beat to beat 100 of medicine experts to predict, for example, a cancer, right? And the prediction of the AI was 98% accurate, and the results of the expert was less than 30% accurate. And this is why we have now these results. It's just because today, thanks to the big data, AI now can do a lot more. Okay, then let's say, okay, I have defined like artificial intelligence mostly related to the intelligence aspect. But for sure, the more you learn, the more you are proficient, the more you know, and the more you can predict, right? And with the big data era, the machine now can learn more and more. They can also memorize more and more. And sure, this now allow the machine to be able to predict more accurate. For example, as I said, I said that the machine will have a position and an action and results, right? Saying that, okay, if the machine can now memorize like billions of position and billions of action, for sure, among all the position that can be presented to the machine will be able to predict the right results. Yeah, and this is what big data really bring to the machine learning. Yeah, knowing that big data is all the technologies that today allow us to process the big data. And big data is mainly described with what we can call V. Then the V of velocity is the speed of the generation of the data, and also there is another V of volume. Volume is the amount, the quantity of data that is being generated. And also we have another V of the V of variety. And the variety here means like the type of data, type of media. For example, you can have an image or a video or a form that we feel. All that variety of data now is being processed thanks to big data. Then knowing that the big data today give another dimension to the AI, and that's why today AI is considered as the electricity of the data. If for today we say, okay, that data is the oil and the AI is the electricity of this oil, knowing that if you have your data and you have also your AI, it brings a lot to the people. Okay, then I'll give you some concrete examples of AI use in the real world. The first thing I will show, I will notice is in the agriculture. Today, you know that, for example, today, if you want to estimate the coverage of a field, right? For example, in your field, you have you have more cultures, and you want to see, okay, what is the coverage of each culture type. Usually, what people did is going to the fields and and trying to have the measures of doing this manually of all your cultures in that field. But if your field is really wide, maybe it can take lots of time to have these dimensions, to have this measure. But today, thanks to AI, you can just from a satellite image, running it in 1 hour, and being able to have a good estimation of your cultures. This is something that I was working on in my master thesis. Yeah, it was to estimate the crop coverage of the culture through satellite images. This is one, and the other thing is what we are calling the next best action. The next best action is, okay, for example, regarding to how a user is using your website. For example, when you go to Amazon or to eBay or something like that, okay, they are able, thanks to AI, to predict what will be your next action. Is will you buy or you won't? And the other concrete example also I can give is, for example, when you launch, when companies launch a new product, instead, for example, of spending lots of money on advertisement and so on, for example, doing in the USA in Canada, from in Montreal, in Toronto, or other sites, they will spend lots of money doing that. But what they can do is through AI, they can say, okay, this new product will just interest this kind of people. It will just interest this type of like this type of people, and then they can directly target such people, and they will spend less money as they used to do. And thanks to AI, they will have like more conversion. Yeah, conversion is the like the people that will buy your product. They are the prospects are the people who your product are interested in, but the conversion is those people who will buy your product. Yeah, and from there I will and I will switch on how now AI could be used to spread the message of Sheikh Muhammad. As I said, the most basic use today of AI is what is called recommendation. Recommendation is what is okay, recommending a product or recommending something depending on the people interest. But for sure, to know the people interest, this is where the learning process will be applied. I can see, okay. For example, let's say that I have a website, right, where I can display or where I can share the contents, some hashtags in terms of like a paper or in terms of audio book or something like that. Okay, and for sure, what is here, what is most important is to be able to propose the content of a visitor and being sure that your visitor will pick your product up. This is very important. For sure, for example, if you are navigating in a website, you won't have enough time to browse all the products, but you might want to browse just a little amount, just some products, and among this product, it's very important that the website developer, the website owner, showed you what you want. And in there, for example, we can say, okay, depending on the period, depending on the time, depending on the people, the location of the people, depending also on the moment, okay, what type of hasidahs or what type of message can interest these people, and then try to propose this message to the people, and then you can be sure that the people will read or will download what you are proposing him, because in the past you was able to learn in such situation, this is my position, what action the visitors had taken and what were the results. And depending on that, you can propose the right content to the right people in the right time. This is like an example that can be used, that can use AI to spread the message like of the sheikh. Yeah, and this is like some examples and also the definition of AI that I have to talk about. Yeah, I know that it's a bit technical, and I have done my best to be less technical as possible. Yeah,
that's great. That's great. That's great, Dr.